This is the Mack G Show.
Welcome to episode 14 of the Mack G Show. We're coming off of our NFL edition and some predictions.
Wow, we nailed those predictions.
I think we nailed most of them, didn't we?
Yeah.
Although you and I were talking about it, we didn't quite remember what our predictions were.
I think the Texans surprised. I thought
People, they surprised me. They surprised me for sure.
And I'm glad, Washington too.
That is true. And then it was a little bit scary because I remember asking my one of my boys with the Bills game. I'm like, hey, what's the score? He's like, they're down 7-3. And I'm like, you got to be kidding. Like, this is exactly what's going to happen for the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
They're going to have an upset, and all of a sudden they're going to be able to beat them up. But
well, next week's the Ravens and Buffalo. It's going to be a good game.
That's going to be a good game. That's going to be a good game.
It's the two MVPs.
Yes. So today, do you have any anecdotes or anything that you wanted to share?
No, we're pretty quick from the last one, so I have
we
nothing
are.
to share.
Although I didn't tell people last time that I got rear-ended.
Good for you.
Driving a car.
Right.
Last week.
In the tunnel.
And I still have no idea what the dude was thinking.
You didn't say that on the last, because that happened right before the last one.
You know what? I felt legally maybe I shouldn't say something. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't do it.
Legally?
I have no idea.
What are you worried about?
I'm not worried about a thing. But
how's your neck?
It's fine now.
You good?
Yeah.
Did you fall out of the truck?
Yeah, I should have showed up with like on Brady Bunch when the guy shows up and they throw the briefcase and the guy turns his neck. He's like, gotcha.
When I was a kid, when I was younger, wherever I grew up, if you had an accident like that, your friends would call you, be like, hey, can you say I was in the car? I literally have two friends that would do that.
Yeah, I was solo, so I couldn't do that. But I'm feeling good now. I had to take I'll tell you what, I'm really impressed with you don't have to take it to a place now to get assessed, like the car.
Yeah. They use the drones?
No. There's an app on your phone. You click the link.
Oh, wow.
Opens up the app. There's a barcode when you open up your your driver's side door.
Yeah, the VIN's on
barcode. So you take a picture of that. They know what your vehicle is. Then it tells you to take pictures, and it shows you the outline of your truck. So it'll say, take a picture of the top right, like front driver's side. And it shows you the outline exactly where you should put the camera, and you just take the picture. So
now we're getting rid of injustice.
I think so.
Wow.
At the end of the day, you probably know. My only fear is if there's any damage axle. This is the first time I got into an accident with a truck. Thank God. It is tough, right? But he hit it hard. It was like it wasn't like a 18-wheeler, but it was another
box truck.
It was a truck, that hit me, and it was a crap box or whatever. But whatever, I digress. So, anything from that you would like to?
I did not get rear-ended this weekend.
Excellent. So today's episode, we talk about streaming shows from time to time. We are now dedicating this show to streaming shows. We could go on forever.
Right.
Editing takes a while, so we're going to try to settle into maybe 35, 40 minutes, right? And in doing so, I don't think we can talk about as many, but you know what? We can have another show. We can talk about those.
Right, there's plenty out there.
So I think we chose the ones that, first of all, you see way more than me, right? You consume it way more than me. Not in a bad. That's not a bad way.
Yeah, I do. I guess
I play 9 hours of video games. That's where I choose to spend my time.
Yeah,
and I go to bed late, which is crazy.
The problem with Netflix and all the streaming, it definitely just took my reading away. I think I need to start reading more. I read a lot more like 10 years ago.
The problem is once you get into one, if they connect with you, you don't want to. Watch it.
I feel like I'm invested in so many different ones that have stopped, started, came back.
So before we go into it, when it comes to binge watching, do you have any funny stories over the years of you binge watching something? Or do you just do it all the time?
If you consider a funny story, me not sleeping for 2 days and just watching
like every weekend?
When this first came out, remember Netflix when it first came out, you have to mail, they mail the videos
the CDs.
And stuff. So we used to do that all the time. I always had a couple going back and forth, and
but that was just one show, right? They didn't give you multiple shows.
You could. It depends what your membership was. You could have 2 at a time or whatever.
You were the platinum. You signed up.
I was probably platinum. But when we started streaming, I think, and I know you're going to say this too, but I didn't know about Game of Thrones when it first came out years ago, and I think I remember I got hooked. like right when I saw the first episode, and I remember.
But you were late to the game.
I wasn't. Yeah, I was, and I'm an HBO guy. I always watch like all the shows, but yeah, someone told me to watch it, so I kind of binged that. I mean, maybe it was a year. Like it was one season.
That is the one that I recollect as well. I was probably starting to watch it when it was already season 3, and this is when I worked at IBM, and were talking about it. I'm like, I got to watch this thing. They were talking about it at a kickoff somewhere. I don't know if we were in Las Vegas or something. I would come home at the end of the night, and I binge watched the whole first season. I mean, that first show, that first episode, that's really good.
You know what I was thinking too? Someone told me about Hannibal, and I liked. I mean, we had a list. I think it was on our list that we put up, and it was so good. I think I watched the whole 3 seasons in like a week. I just kept watching it.
Binge. Well, we're gonna have a question later on. Stick through it. We're gonna have a question later on. Before we get into the first show, I hate to say it, but I got to say it again. Please like and subscribe. Follow us on social media. We're pretty much everywhere that you are. Go to the show notes. That'll give you links to everything. We need your support. So do that. Right?
Thank you.
Okay. First show up is Severance. What do you think?
My friend told me to watch it last year. I don't know. It was a couple of years ago, actually.
That's how long it's been out?
It's been out a couple of years. Yeah. Did
Apple TV Plus push it a lot?
It was it might even have been, let's say, 2 to 3 years ago.
Wow.
So it
was a sleeper? Like no one was watching it?
Yeah. Well, you know what? So my friend told me to watch it. And it starts off really slow.
Yep.
Right. And I kept falling asleep and I kept not watching. He's like, I'm telling you, watch it. It's good. And I'm like, I can't get through it. I keep falling asleep. But once I was like, all right, look, I'm going to watch it. It's really good. And like the first season was great. The way it ended was great.
Exactly. So I would say whatever slowness your friend was giving you a heads up on, I would agree. But man, you are rewarded at the end.
At the end, for sure.
Right?
Yep.
And so we're sitting here. We're recording this on a Monday night. It's the 13th. It comes out on the 17th. I can't wait.
Yeah, no, I'm dying to watch it.
And now it's 1 week at a time.
I forgot.
Apple TV Plus
does that. Yeah. But you have so when it ended, I think it ended 2 years ago. It got caught up in the strikes.
So you didn't know whether it was gonna.
No, I mean they were supposed to be filming it and it stopped. So
I'm going to share a link. Did you see the Stephen Colbert thing?
No,
but I sent it.
You sent it. I didn't see it. I don't think I saw it.
Ricky, you haven't got to. It is because they have the real actors doing it on set.
Yeah.
Absolutely hilarious.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Look at the show notes because I'm telling you right now, you will crack up.
Okay.
So creator Dan Erickson, no idea who that guy is.
Danny. You know Danny.
Danny.
Yeah, Danny.
DE. We call him DE.
Yeah.
But obviously Ben Stiller is the director. I freaking love it. Like, it's I just think it and just the I don't think this is a spoiler alert, right? Because you find this out in the first episode, but the premise is I think it's an alternate reality of today. And they've developed this medical procedure where they can put an implant in your brain and separate the knowledge that you have at home with the knowledge at work. In other words, they don't know each other.
When you leave work,
you
forget about what happened.
You have no idea what happened. They have this interesting thing that they do with the camera when they're in the elevator where, like their face goes like whatever. Yeah. And it's really the story of people did it for certain, like the different characters did it for certain reasons. A lot of them had tragedy and they just didn't want to have to, think about stuff at work. But it's really interesting the way the characters at work feel helpless. Like, how dare you, my outie is what they call it, put me in this situation where they're out having all the fun and all I'm doing is working all day. Right. So,
and when the girl comes in, she's like, I gotta get out of here. She wants nothing. And it's like, you get the sensation where like, if you don't fit in with them, you're dead. Like if I get, that's what I got anyway. I don't know how you felt about it.
No, I mean, again,
the guy that was there before, like,
no, but I think it's because he left and that's why he was in trouble.
Okay.
And then also there was the deal with him trying to deal with that. What do they call it? What do they call it? They called it, there's a word for that.
I don't know, but I know what you're saying. Like he goes out and finds him later.
Right.
But I just feel like there's some shady stuff going on. If you don't,
interesting cast, right? You've got Adam Scott from Parks and Recreation and Step Brothers.
He's the one who says, looks like you want to punch me in the face right now. Step Brothers.
And then she got right. He's singing in the thing. John Turturro, who's tremendous.
He's good.
He's unbelievable. Patricia Arquette.
Yep.
Good role. And then who do we love in it?
Yeah, my buddy
Christopher Walken.
Yeah, Mr. Walken.
He does a great job.
Yeah, he's just such a straight.
It's perfect.
Just like deadpan. It's funny.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we've done is we're not saying that we, in Rotten Tomatoes we trust, right? But it is a way to look.
It's a good gauge.
It's a good gauge. And what Rotten Tomatoes does is they have the Rotten score, which is the critics score. And then they have the popcorn score, which is what the average Joe thinks. And sometimes looking at the difference between the two is telling. So with Severance, and I'm season 1, right? Season 2 is not out yet. 95% score with the critics, 88% score with popcorn.
It's really good.
Everyone likes it.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, 88's good.
88's great.
88's great on the Rotten Tomatoes.
14 Emmy nominations with season 1, but again, was this 2 years ago or like?
I feel like it was probably 2 years ago.
Wow.
Want me to look it up?
Oh, you can.
I'll do it quickly.
All right. Next one we're going to talk about while you look that up is Squid Game, seasons 1 and 2. Ricky, thoughts on that one?
Now you want to talk to me? I'm looking that thing up.
Well, let's move on.
I really love Squid Game. So it was something
Both seasons.
Well, yes. Well, just the season right now is still going on.
It was the first half and the second half?
Yeah, well, they just released it not too long ago. So
the second half of season 2.
The first
half of season 2.
Because it looks like
they're
gonna like split it up.
No spoiler.
And then in the end, maybe later this year they're gonna come back. I won't say what episode because I don't want to spoil it. It's different. The first episode, the first season, I loved. It was different. I like that whole. It's a little twisted, obviously, and dark.
Oh, it's done done very well.
But that's like the whole battle royale, or what was that one with the Hunger Games?
Oh no, I thought you were
going
to say no. Is it Sub-Zero now Plain Zero? Do you remember that?
What was it?
Remember that? It was Arnold Schwarzenegger was doing one.
Yeah. The Running Man?
Yeah.
But so
Sub-Zero now Plain Zero.
Yeah, it's basically like only one person surviving.
Yes.
Right. So
and a lot of money goes to them.
Right. So it's that like premise, but it's just done a little differently. And I thought it was great. They actually made a game show,
about
like a reality show.
And people died, right? They killed people?
Yeah, everybody dies. But the family gets money. No, not everybody dies. But it's funny, when they're supposed to die, they just kind of disappear off the screen.
That is
and
funny.
Somebody won. It was cool. I watched it with
Big
my
money?
wife. Yeah, it was like $4 million.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was
Was it in, is that Korea?
Korea? I don't think so. I don't know where it was, but it was the same thing. And, you win or lose. You don't die, but.
Wow. So full disclosure, we knew we were doing this episode. Some of these shows I hadn't watched. So last night I binge watched a lot of first episodes. This was one. And I will tell you right now, I was hooked, right? Now, I didn't completely remember season 1.
2022 for Severance. So it's a couple
years. So I didn't I remember the premise, but I didn't remember the intricacies of season 1 of Squid Game. And when you look at the recap on the show, it was just too much.
Yeah.
The reality is almost everyone dies, right?
Everybody dies except for the one person.
I'm saying, but even there's only 3 characters that kind of come back, right?
Well, yeah, because one's
3 or 4.
One's a cop, one's the person that runs the game.
And his brother.
And then him.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So I then went online and looked it up that way, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. They told me everything I needed to know. So I am hooked on it. I'm not even going to try to say the creator's name.
Yeah, it's different. It's like the guy who won, I think his name was Song or Seong or something.
Yep.
The money didn't matter to him. It got so he has the money.
He just wants to track down the people that did this.
He doesn't like what's going on there, and he's like, I'm going to go back. And
so the first episode, the guy that he has helping him out, that was his bookie that he owed the money to. And now he's gone back to him to try to hire the people to go. And then the guy says, I'll give you $1 million, whoever finds him first or whatever.
Did you, I don't know, you only got one episode
That's it.
Did you get to go into the apartment, his apartment?
Yeah, and he's all the cameras up.
It looks like, remember on Breaking Bad, when they just had the block of money.
I didn't see
F you.
I know. Here,
Look, Johnny, we're talking about streaming shows. That's the best. Well, one of the best streaming shows of all time.
That was a decade-old conversation.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, but here's the one thing I don't understand. I don't know if you remember the first episode because that's what I saw last night. He's got cameras all over the place, but he doesn't have it on the door. You know, they try to build tension because he hears like the ringing and he's looking on all the cameras and he doesn't have one right at the door. Because he doesn't know what's right behind the door. Because he's looking at all the cameras, it doesn't show up. And he doesn't have anything that's right behind the... I don't know. I have something to say to Juan Duck-Yuk.
What?
I'm just saying that's the name of the creator.
He's a good job.
Yeah.
Tell him good job.
He's a good job.
But it's a great show.
Season 1,
Yeah.
88% critics, 82% popcorn score.
Let me ask you this.
No, I'm sorry. 88% was the critical score, what the critics said. 73% season 1 was the people. Season 2, because they
People
released...
have weak stomachs.
Maybe, but it went even further down, 63%. But my first episode got me hooked. I like it. So I don't know why the people's numbers
say we had a star rating for Mack G. How many stars would you give the Squid Game?
I would...
For the first season.
At least 4.
I'd go for... It's got to be 4.5-ish.
Yeah.
Between 4 and 5.
We can do the halves?
Well, I mean, you have to have a little
I'm going to
something.
do 1 through 10, then you can say 9.
You can have 10. I want to have stars.
So 1 to 10. Okay. 4, yeah,
1 to
4,
10 what?
maybe
What
4,
is it?
4.5.
I would go 4.5 for
And
sure.
since it's Netflix, you can binge watch the whole thing, except you said that they're splitting the 2 seasons out.
Which I don't know if I like that. We'll talk about that later. But like,
Okay.
either read
I
the
think
ring or you're out.
I think it's a compromise. I think that's why they do it.
Look, if it's in the can and you're going to only watch it like 6 months apart.
You watch this in the bathroom?
Yeah, I watch it in the can. But I mean, if they film it, but like on Stranger Things, they did that and like it was like 2 years later.
Is that still... We're still waiting
Yeah,
on Stranger
the kids
Things?
are 30 years old now.
Well, I think they were 30 when it started, and now... No, you're right, not them. I mean the next wave.
Yeah.
There's some kid from Newburyport, right? That guy?
Who's that?
He was also in the one that John Hamm, the Fargo, the last Fargo,
Yep.
with John Hamm.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
He played the son.
The son.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's from
Newburyport.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's from Newburyport.
Yeah, I like him.
That Newburyport, for you people not in Massachusetts, is on the water.
Did you feel bad for him in that? I kind of felt bad for him after.
You do at some point.
Because his family was...
Yes.
His
I mean,
mom,
there's no
like,
way to
twisted.
come out good when John Hamm like that is.
But he
your
was
dad.
such a tool bag.
Oh,
he was
and
good
then
at it.
he kept getting hurt.
Yeah, they were bad. Yeah, he got banged up. He had something broken all the time.
So going back to Squid Games, number 1 global sensation, won multiple Emmy awards. Right. So you can say that there was a 73% popcorn score, but it won all these awards.
Let me just finish by saying this show is not going to like jump the shark. It's going to be over.
Oh,
I think I don't know if it's at the end of the next half season or there's one more season, but it's going to be done. I read that.
Oh, you read it. Okay.
They're going to wrap it up.
I don't know if you were like, I'm looking into it.
No, they're going to wrap it up. So it's
Okay.
not going to go 6 seasons and jump the shark and be terrible.
Okay, next one. And again, admittedly, I only saw one of them, The Lioness.
I told you about this because I liked it.
And you and your wife can watch it together.
I watch it with, no, is this the one I watch with my wife? No, we watch Landman.
Really?
She doesn't watch this. This got
Oh,
a
this
little
is too violent?
And there's a lot of bloodshed. I mean, she's
Okay.
like a special op, and they go in and there's a lot of. But it's not. That's not why she doesn't watch it. I just watched it on my own. But I liked it. I know how much you like Taylor Sheridan shows. That's why I recommended it to you.
All right, do you want me to start doing now?
Go ahead.
Okay. What is up with that dude? He's got to got into Yellowstone. He has to show up at some point, and he plays some stud dude, great shape, got his shit together. Then he was in, was it 1883?
He was in that too?
Ricky, they're out on the plains, right? This random trapper shows up and saves the day. It's fucking him.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Oh, my God.
I didn't know who he was until the last episode of Yellowstone when he was like hitting on what's her name, Beth?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it. Then I realized it was him. 'Cause I saw a
And
picture of him.
every intro has the same video treatment, right? Whether it's the Lioness, whether it's Landman, whether it's it's the same freaking thing.
Yeah.
His name, boom. It's the first thing you see for
He's
30 seconds.
He's on top. He's riding it. He's failing
I'm telling you right now, I think Paramount Plus, obviously Yellowstone, giant winner. And now they've invested in him. You like the shows, which is good.
Lioness was good.
Okay, what do you mean? Like it's over?
Well, I saw the first 2 series. You know,
Is there going to be season 3?
I don't know, but
Okay,
those 2 were good.
But based on what you saw, there could be.
Yeah,
There wasn't.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I mean, it's if you want to talk about the show, I mean,
So what is the premise?
it's so what's her name? Zoe
Zoe
Saldana.
Saldana. Yep.
She's like special ops, where they take somebody from their, special forces.
A woman
who comes in and she gets close to a target.
A target's wife.
Well, any target. Like
It's not. I thought it was the target's wife. Like they went after.
Well, that's
they don't
particular.
I thought that was the whole
year
state.
it was, but not all the time.
Okay.
It's just get close to a target for however long you can. Get close enough to them where they can go kill the
Target.
kill the target.
Yeah.
Like so they deal with it. So and they're disposable, and it's
And Nicole Kidman's she's political. She's back in,
she's the top.
but she's in the United States.
She's Washington.
Okay.
I think it's CIA or
it's CIA.
higher.
It's CIA.
But
It's
their
CIA.
special forces are they're like black ops, where you're not even supposed to.
Right.
The government even can't admit
Yep.
that you're working with
Never
them.
happened.
You're off. If you all die, no, we don't know anything.
No one knows anything.
So that's how it is.
And then Morgan Freeman's in it. I didn't see him in the first episode.
Yeah, he's
Is it
close.
a small role or a big role?
He's not in a lot. He's a small role. Big. He's right under the president.
Oh,
So he has the. All right, listen. Now you're starting to be visible now. Where you're supposed to be invisible doing what you're doing. It's getting too close to us.
so now
What do
we've
you
got
do?
a damage control type thing,
Right.
But we're still okay because we can still eliminate the target.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they have to do it. They're supposed to do it quietly and not in the news.
Okay. So Rotten Tomatoes, season 1, 56%.
That's not good.
How do you explain that?
I don't know. Maybe no one knew about it.
You think?
That's what I think. Because
But wouldn't it just be a higher number of the small people that saw it?
Maybe. I don't know how that works. You do the math.
And then 81% has been the popcorn score for both seasons, so that's good. That means the people like it.
So the critics
And then
didn't like
season 2, it bumped. The critics went from 56 season 1 to 89% season 2. So you're right. Maybe it's they're like, oh, I don't think anyone likes this, and everyone liked it. They're like, no, this is really good.
Yeah, it was good. Then you go back and look at it. I mean, I liked it. It's just, it's whatever. It's not.
But do you think there's a signature style that is Taylor Sheridan? I mean, other than the way they film.
well, the whole Yellowstone, and I feel like Yellowstone and Landman are closer. That's different. Like Land.
You
I don't
saw
know
the
what
intro, though, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I did.
It's the
you know what I do with the
same
intro?
thing.
It says skip intro. I do that.
Yeah,
I do that.
I would do it too.
That's
So
what I do.
again, I'm almost at the point now where I can't get it out of my head, my annoyance of Taylor Sheridan, regardless of how good he tells the story.
Does it affect the way you watch the show?
A little bit.
That sucks.
I know. But it was only the first episode.
But you don't have to watch it either.
No, I think I'll watch it again. I think I'll watch it
I
again.
think Zoe Saldana is good.
She's very good.
I like a strong female.
Yeah, well, then-
lead where they're tough and they're like.
Well, if you remember episode 1, no spoiler, I won't say what happened. But then the new woman, she's tough cookie based on all the crap.
She's great.
Yeah. Okay, Landman, you talked about it, continuing the Taylor Sheridan thing. Your thoughts on Landman, and then how many stars would you give the Lioness?
I give it 4.
Okay.
4.5. I give it 4.
And even though you should probably say things about Landman, what would you give that? Higher or lower? Same 4.
It's still a work in progress for me.
Okay.
I
mean, Billy Bob Thornton's a great actor.
I think it has the potential
He's
to be
good.
really good. He's good. John Hamm's in it.
Yep.
Demi Moore's a little. She's kind of like a small role. I don't know if it's going to get bigger next year, but I think
They
that
certainly put her on there to get
Ali
people.
Lauder's a big
Is good.
presence in it. She's really good. She's
I
kinda
don't think
ditzy.
that's believable, though, unless there's something in the storyline that explains why her looks would care about Billy Bob Thornton's looks.
Well, he was a billionaire.
Okay.
So he had a
Okay,
lot
that
of money.
makes sense.
If you keep watching the show,
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah, I mean, he had a lot of money.
But the visual is not.
she literally says to her daughter in one of the episodes,
Go
I'm
find money."
never going to work a day in my life because I'm married to someone with money." So that'll answer your question.
That is funny.
But Billy Bob Thornton, and away from the series, he got some pretty famous and beautiful
yeah,
women.
once again, he was loaded and famous.
Wasn't he with Angelina?
Yeah, he was. They
Jolie
shared each
and-
other blood and they put it on their.
Yeah,
like-
and the necklace. But I mean, he
Yeah,
got pretty. He was all right.
So
He's a good actor. I like him.
I watched the first one last night too. This one annoyed me more of the Taylor Sheridan connection than the other.
But y'all
ones.
watching the intro like this fucking sucks. I hate it. So like,
I wouldn't
you
say
start,
that.
You start off in a bad place.
No, and again, I can't do the spoiler, but I don't know if you remember the way episode 1 ends.
What was there an explosion?
King.
Yeah, the explosion. Yeah.
Right, and so you're thinking those 3 people. Oh, he's gonna have a good relationship with them.
Yeah.
See ya.
Well,
yeah,
but his son, that has more to do with his son and his son's relationships as he gets.
Okay, so listen, he's not a good looking kid.
No,
Like,
if you look at his, go on IM. What is it? IMDb.
Is it worse?
He looks better at the show than he does.
God.
Like when you clean him up, he looks like he's,
Wow,
poor kid.
Yeah,
but he's good in the show, and he's like,
no, he's great in the show.
I like his character.
He's believable because he looks like a real dude.
Yeah, no, he's good. Like I said, I like the show. I like the characters.
But it's almost like all the women they made sure were pretty, and then all the guys they made sure.
I think that's
weren't.
going on too. No, that's not
John
true. John
Hamm's the only one.
No, the daughter's boyfriend will come in.
Not the big football player kid. He was gone, right?
She dumps him, but she finds another football player.
Okay.
And they end up going to a strip joint, and he's a stripper. Like there's eye candy in it for everybody.
Got it. Okay. Rotten Tomatoes for I guess this would be season 1, 80%. The viewers gave it a 64%. Maybe everyone's tired of Taylor Sheridan.
It could be. I mean, like Yellowstone was huge, and then they had was it 1889? I don't know.
1883, 1923. No,
Right.
1889. No.
Whatever.
Right.
Anyway, so that maybe they're like worn out with him.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Man, he's all in, though.
Yeah. He does like to show himself. He likes to have himself written into the parts.
Boy.
With his like shirt off and all done up.
Oh, my God.
I know you hate it.
But I feel like isn't his story kind of like.
You'd want to do that. Come on. If you were writing all these shows.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you'd want to be in there. Come on.
No, I wouldn't. And if I was in it, I'd probably play a goofy guy.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be in it. You know me.
Yeah, I would play a goofy
guy.
guy. I just think I don't know. It's so self-serving the way he does it.
No, but you'd want to be in it and just have fun with it.
Being in it is one thing. Like, what's the Marvel guy? Stan Lee was always in
right,
it.
and that's cool what he does.
That
He
is,
has a
but he wasn't
cameo.
in it with his shirt off, like being the best guy.
I know. Well, he
like beating up Spider-Man. He wasn't doing that.
No, Stan Lee always made an appearance.
Yeah, God rest his soul.
Yep.
Next one, Shrinking.
I call it shrinkage. My wife laughs. I got to go on out of that, and I do it like because I forget, and she's like, "It's not shrinkage. Nobody wants shrinkage."
Yep. What are your thoughts on that one?
My thoughts on that? I like it. I like Siegel. He's
good. Harrison Ford's good.
Siegel's good, but he always plays the same character, like in everything he's in. So if you like that character, the like kind of like funny, a little dark, but always kind of sad, who needs some help.
So I watched the first season, was late to the game, I think mostly with my wife. Really liked it. There's some dark themes there. Right? Was like, all right, here we go, season 2. And then when, what's his face? Brett Goldstein. So Brett Goldstein. Yeah, he's the creator. He's the guy that played whatchamacallit in Ted Lasso. Roy Kent.
Roy Kent.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's funny because I only, like, my first time he popped up on my radar, he was Roy Kent. And then someone's like, oh, no, he's like a really good writer and create. And I'm like, what? And then Shrinking, what? But he makes an appearance in season 2 as the person who.
Did you? You've only.
I saw.
Right,
yeah, but it wasn't last night. It was a while ago.
So I watched that with my wife. It's got some humor. It's funny. The relationships are good. The characters are good. They're all like, that's when you know a show's good, when you like.
Yes.
All the different characters.
I actually like the next door neighbors. Those two.
I was going to say
funny.
that's like Ted Ginley. His name is something like that. And he was in like Married with Children. He was in. Yeah. He was in the Happy Days.
But he kind of plays that character, right? That kind of.
He's like happy-go-lucky. His wife's kind of a busybody a little bit, but
yeah,
she's
he's okay
cool,
with it.
And I like him a lot. But something happens in this episode that.
The season.
The season that he changes a little bit, but he's still himself. But like,
okay,
like each character gets a little.
Do you watch that with your wife?
I do.
And she likes it.
She does, but it is dark. It's kind of sad. Obviously,
it can be.
I mean, his wife gets killed in a car accident. It's how he deals with it. I mean, he's a psychiatrist.
Yep.
And the daughter, and how he wasn't there, and but it's good. We like it. Harrison Ford's good. Even the other lawyer that's with them, it's like Harrison Ford.
I mean, not the lawyer.
Therapist there.
Oh, the black one?
What's her name? I forget.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah,
great.
she's really good.
Yeah, so that's a good show. I like
She's
it. I don't
really
know,
good.
what do we have for Rotten Tomatoes? That wow, Rotten Tomatoes
Huge.
Wow.
Like 91% in season 1, 97% in season 2, and then the people's percentage was 88% and 86%.
So that's really good.
Everyone's liking it.
Like I said, if Rotten Tomato, if your popcorn score or your Rotten
Everything.
Tomato score, it's still good.
Everyone's liking it.
Yeah, no, it's good.
So I would say I liked it. The reason why I didn't continue watching is there are sad undertones, and for whatever reason, I don't think I.
So let me say this. Remember with Ted Lasso, I loved Ted Lasso because it was, I like dark stuff. I like, crazy, blah, blah. But like that show had good vibes around it all the time. Like
they introduced the whole
later. I know, but like I liked it. Like I liked it. Was it was funny. It was like good-hearted.
Sometimes you just want to have a lighthearted show.
There's some of that, even though there's a definite like serious. Like,
they always make sure that there's a comedic.
Like the people, the characters are all likable.
Like what is it? Heidi Gardner? Was she the one? Was that her name? She the one that was on Saturday Night Live. She was the one who she wasn't getting along with her husband. And he told her to stand up for herself, and she pushes him off.
Oh, right, yeah.
What's her name? Heidi? Yeah,
I don't know what her name is.
Okay,
but I remember
that's funny.
Remember he had like a little phrase. He's like, just walk up and like, boop, boop, boop.
Exactly.
And like she was in jail the next episode.
Right. That was pretty funny. Pretty funny. So I would say eventually I'll give it another shot. How many stars would you give it?
That's a 4.5 for me.
Okay.
I liked it a lot.
Okay.
I think Apple has really good.
I'm telling you right
shows.
now, Severance, we didn't have 5 stars for me.
It's hard for me to give a 5-star. I don't know if I have a 5-star on me.
I do. Severance. You have to have one.
No, no. You can't give them all willy-nilly.
I didn't.
I know. I'm saying I can't.
One. Okay. This
could be a 5-star.
So the last one we're going to talk about for this episode is a straight comedy, What We Do in the Shadows, which is a mockumentary following vampire roommates that live in Staten Island.
Right.
And it was created by Jermaine Clement and
Taka.
Whatever. And it was a movie. It was a movie based in not Australia, but what's the other place that's like Australia?
New Zealand?
Kiwi, yeah. And it was okay. And so I
never saw the movie.
It's okay. I mean, it's very similar, but just I think the format of the episode.
Were any of the actors in the movie was like Nandor? Was it a different guy?
No. So it was Jermaine and
Wiggins?
Takai.
Wiggins?
No. Jermaine Clement. He was in it. Those guys were in it.
Oh, they were
They were in it. Yeah. But it is so funny, and names of the actors that were the stars, which there are not household names, right? Kayvan Novak, Matt Berry, which you may have seen him in. I think he was in Curb Your Enthusiasm, right? And I forget what he was doing there. And then Natasha Demetriou, which her brother I think is in some UK based show. They're all British, right? Okay. It is so freaking funny.
Yeah.
And then there's another guy. What's his
the
name?
Other guy? The
Mike. We got to put it there. But he plays an energy vampire.
Yeah.
So his whole thing is he just drains you of your energy.
I was trying to explain that to someone the other day. Yeah. I was like, you're in a room with him. Yeah. And he just like sucks the life out of a conversation.
Exactly. And it's so
That's what kind of vampire. He's good at it.
I just think it's great. And here's the beauty of it.
Remember when he something happens to him and he
becomes the baby?
He becomes the baby. That whole season was the best.
So I will tell you this. There's 6 seasons and now it's over, right?
Yeah.
Every season was like 94% the critics, 91%. And then they reached 100% for a couple of seasons, maybe the one that you're talking about.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
And then the popcorn score, which is everyone else, anywhere between 86% and 95%. Just very funny. And I will tell you this. When a series is on for a long time, I get very sad when it's over. I think I told you I never watched the Modern Family last show. Because I'm like, as long as I haven't seen it, it hasn't ended. I felt that way with this one. And a lot of times people try to be very nostalgic and blah, blah. I love this show because literally the last show was like any of the other shows. It was almost like, so it's a mockumentary. It was kind of like they're not going to film anymore. But they still go on. Yeah. So I like that.
I didn't finish the 5th season because of what you just said. Like, I like it so much that I didn't want the season to end, and I know there's only one season left.
Oh, 6, yeah.
But I didn't I have to watch the last season.
But if you think about look at all the scores they got, like everyone was loving it. And here's the
so
deal.
good.
It's not like they killed off everybody so that you can't come back. Like if someone can, talks him into coming back, they might be able to come back.
Yeah. Well, every character's great. It's so funny. It is a little dark too. I mean, there's some blood and guts in it.
Yeah, over the top sometimes.
Yeah, it's a little crazy, and
then when Laszlo's like trying to create Frankenstein, well, you haven't seen it yet. He's trying to create other creatures and stuff like that. It's very.
I saw him try to figure out what's the kid, the
Guillermo.
Yeah, Guillermo, and he's like she's experimenting. And he
looks like frogs.
Yeah, the frogs. Everything's flying around. But I try to tell my daughter about it because we kind of have similar sense of humor. But it is a little effed up, too.
It's effed up, but it's only 30 minutes, so you can consume it. And it's all out there now, so you can consume it, which is a good set. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's one that I binged because I didn't know about it, and someone told me about it. And I watched like the first 3 seasons like in a snap because they're so short.
You can watch
just binge them right through.
You can watch them. So we're done with the actual shows that we're going to talk about. Just a few concepts before we close. The whole, we talked about Rotten Tomatoes versus popcorn stores, right? Scores. If someone tells you, oh my God, there's this great new show, if they tell you the critics give it 5 stars, the people give it 3, or if they tell you the critics give it 3 and the people give it 5, which one are you more like?
I'm more likely to go with the critics.
People? Oh, the critics.
Yeah, I'd go critics.
I'm trying to think what I would do. I'm trying to think of the shows that I like. Yeah, maybe critics.
I would go critic. I mean, again,
unless it's way over the top, like, oh, I know why the critics like this. Like it's historic and,
I don't even look at that. If I see something that looks interesting, I watch it. I don't even know. I mean, you showing me this, I mean, I've seen Rotten Tomatoes. Sometimes I'll go on and they start listing, shows and I look and see, I didn't see this yet. Let me go take a, But the ones to call out that we talked about earlier is Landman, 80% critics, 64% the people. Right. Right? That's odd. And then Squid Game was 88%. Johnny, there's a lot of shows in history that were like that, like movies say.
Maybe Seinfeld, the first season almost got cut, but then eventually right?
But look at Arrested Development.
Yeah.
That show was unbelievable. It was one of the funniest shows ever made. It never made it.
But you know what the problem was? I loved it. I consumed it. One of the later seasons, the way they did the show was it was the same story, but the different viewpoints. But if you didn't pay attention, it got so confusing. It was just too much.
I think what happened was Netflix bought it, and I think it changed a little bit.
Yeah.
But the first 2.5 seasons, because I think it was 2.5, and then it stopped. That show was so funny.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just there was something all inside stuff, and then a joke that kept running.
David Cross painting himself blue.
Every character was great.
Yeah.
Portia de Rossi was great. Cross was the best with the Blue Man Group.
Yeah.
He had the little short shorts, and he was gay, but would never admit it. And he had a beautiful wife. And then, and then what's his name? Hank? Not Hank.
The brother who's the magician?
No. Oh, Jesus. That's Job. He was the worst magician. He just goes like this, and all the shit starts flying out of his hands. But no, I'm talking about the main character.
Jason Bateman's character?
No, not Jason Bateman.
Oh, the guy that was up in the attic?
Yeah.
The dad?
Yeah. And then he had a brother that looked just like him.
Yeah,
the mother was great. She won a lot of Emmys, I think, for that.
Back in the day. Wasn't she in soap operas or something back then? Or maybe not.
She was famous for something. But I'm just saying that show, it had no public support at all. And it was critically acclaimed. And it still didn't make it.
Yeah.
That
was a really good show. That was a really good show.
Jason Bateman is in everything.
He's awesome.
All right, who's in more things? Ready? Go. Wait, no. Jason Bateman or what's her name? She was in Lioness.
Zoe Saldana?
No, the friggin'...
Oh, Demi Moore?
The one that used to go out with Tom Cruise.
Demi Moore?
No.
Ali Lautner?
No.
The Lioness.
Oh,
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman. She's in everything.
I think Jason Bateman more.
You think so?
I think so.
Ozark. But she was in every movie that comes out on Netflix now. She's in
a lot of them. But I would give the edge to Jason Bateman.
What about that movie? Did you see that movie? I know we're wrapped up, but the one where he was in the airport and
I liked it.
He was the what do you call it?
Baggage carry on.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I liked it.
Yeah, we liked it. That was another one we watched.
I did like that. I give that a thumbs up.
But he's in everything. I was just looking back and he's in everything.
What was the scary one he was in where there was some evil creature that would take over a body and then that body would have to eat or destroy another body? Remember? And he was the first.
Follows?
No, he was like the first guy that was taken over in the story.
I don't remember.
We'll have to.
All right, we'll
have to
circle back.
post it.
Okay.
So I already talked about the Taylor Sheridan universe and a little bit of my annoyances. I think the last topic to bring up is: would you rather the Netflix model where they release everything and you can binge watch everything, or the Apple TV Plus model where you have to wait a week?
I like to binge.
I like to wait the week.
See, I like to binge.
I'm not saying I don't mind binging, but something about prolonging it, like Silo. We didn't talk about Silo. I really like Silo. Now it's a slow starter.
Yeah, it's good.
But it's
another Apple Plus.
You got to wait. You got to wait for the next one.
That's how HBO is.
Well, that's the way TV used to be.
I know. I like to binge, though. I like to know that I could just, like, if I'm in the mood to just sit down, if I have
Keep
some time
doing
and it's late, I just want to watch it. I'm like, oh, come on.
But then we talked about maybe they've created this hybrid model. Well, it's not really. Where in Squid Games they release, or they did that with Stranger Things, right? They released the first half.
Yeah, then the second
and
half.
then the second half.
They did. I think they did that for
Stranger.
what's the Outer Banks? I think that's
the
Outer
same deal.
Banks. So
yeah.
So they're trying to find a way where, like, because I feel like I think, like, if you're the streaming service, you're like, all right, I can hold their attention longer for a longer span,
right?
If I don't just bang it out.
And I can push other shows that I have at the same time. If you binge watch it, there's no.
It comes and it goes, and then you lost your viewers for your.
So
service.
my last question is, and when I think of it myself, I don't know if I can answer, but do you have a streaming service? Like, could you rank the streaming services? Like, I like Hulu, and then I like Apple TV Plus, and then Netflix, or is it all across the board?
I mean, so we have Apple TV. We both not Apple TV. We have YouTube TV. YouTube TV.
You
right?
can attach it.
So
to
we
that.
cut the cord, and so when you turn your YouTube TV on, you have your bar going across. What's first? You have Netflix. You know what I mean? Like, so I
don't know if I have that view.
You should. As soon as you turn you log on to YouTube TV, there should be a bar going right across the middle of your screen. So I have.
Oh my God, I don't know if I have this, but I have.
Oh no, I'm wrong. It's not YouTube TV. It's like your whatever
Roku.
Your stick, right?
Roku.
So your Roku.
Yeah.
So when you're on Roku, you have boxes, right? And everything like so. Does it line up according to your favorite?
I think I put Netflix first because they were like the first game in town. The one that was annoying me a little bit was Paramount Plus because it's the Taylor Sheridan universe, right? I think
I had problems with Paramount Plus, like it wasn't coming in great.
I couldn't find Landman. I paid yesterday. I paid the $12.99 to add Paramount Plus and Stars maybe or something or Showtime, whatever, and I couldn't find it. Someone had a login that was straight to Paramount Plus. We watched it there. I didn't even know whose login was, but I was doing a search on Landman on the
you couldn't find it
on the Paramount Plus YouTube. Wouldn't show up. Lioness would show up. I don't know. It was probably
do a search.
Pilot. Yeah, Pilot Error.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. Paramount Plus is a little funky, but like I think as far as quality of shows, I think Apple Plus might have the best.
Yeah.
Netflix has like the most.
Yes.
Like they have a lot.
And different types, right?
Yeah.
You could watch the Menendez thing.
Yeah, there's a
and
lot
all
of stuff going in there, but I think like Apple's great. And HBO.
I like Hulu. That's what we do in the shadows.
No, I know, but and Hulu's, I watch Hulu too, but like I think HBO, as far as like their content and what they create and like their like quality
yeah, but that's
shows,
not really a streaming. I mean, I know they have a streaming service, but I see
Who?
HBO. You were just saying
That's
HBO.
Max. That's their, that's what, did you watch The Penguin?
No.
Okay, so like Game of Thrones. That's all.
Yeah,
Max,
no, I know that. I know that.
So I think they're like my 1, 2, 3 would probably be Netflix, Apple, and HBO or Max.
I think mine would be Apple, Netflix, Hulu.
Yeah,
I like Netflix for the variety.
What else do you watch on Hulu besides?
I forget.
What
But
we
there
do in
was
the
there was other stuff I was watching.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
Oh, is it
on
The Old Man Hulu?
The Old Man might have been Hulu, and what Murders in the Building.
Yep, that's another one.
Or Hulu.
Yeah,
I mean they have good content for
Yeah.
sure, and I like that's
NBC, right? Isn't that NBC?
That's Disney. Hulu.
Oh, Hulu's Disney. Oh, that's ABC then.
Yeah, NBC I think is Paramount, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
We don't know what we're talking about.
We don't. But we don't have to know what we're talking about anymore because I think the show is over.
All right.
So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, we want to hear your feedback. If there was a show that we tried to pick the ones that, first of all, that we had seen and that we thought was.
Yeah, they're coming out now or they're just.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let us know if you believe our recommendations or if you think we're crazy. Make sure you like and subscribe, follow us. And in terms of next episode, we've had a few just us, which I like. I mean, that's cool.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe we have the guy that wants to talk about bourbon. I was thinking about that.
The bourbon guy?
The bourbon guy.
What about the game guy? Is that the same guy?
What game guy? Oh, yeah, the game guy.
Yeah,
the bourbon guy.
Bourbon games.
So we'll see.
We'll drink some bourbon. We'll play some games.
Absolutely. So thank you very much. And Ricky, why don't you take us out?
We'll see you.